The name Pusha T has come up a lot recently thanks to the Kendrick and Drake beef. Because of that, I've listened to Story of a Didon, and I haven't been able to stop thinking about it since. That's not to say that I expect Daytona to be filled with Drake disses, and honestly, I couldn't tell you what prompted me to pick this one over any other recommended Pusha albums, but this one seems short, to the point, maybe a little less intimidating than other projects, so I'm going to start here. Let's begin.
Pulling up in that new toy, the wrist on that boy, rock star like Pink Floyd, waving that rude boy, I'm waving at you boy, your numbers don't add up on the blow, that was 10 years ago, if you know, you know. Yeah. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. This thing of ours, oh this thing of ours.
The beat definitely caught me off guard, in a good way. The energy is infectious, the lyrics are lavish. I love that it sounds confident, but not overly arrogant.
Rapper can morph in a puff. Dance contest for the smokers. I predict snow owl roker. If you know, you know. I only ever looked up to Sosa. You all get a bird, this nigga Oprah. If you know about the carport, them trapdoors supposed to be awkward. If you know, you know. That's the reason we ball for. Circle round twice for the encore. If you know, you know.
It's an incredible album opener, something fresh that really stuck with me and made me want to listen to it again and again.
Where were you when Big Meech brought the Tigers in? Cause I was busy earning stripes like a tiger skin. Bricklayers in ball shorts, coaching from the side of the ball court. If you know, you know. One stop like a Walmart. We got the tennis balls for the wrong sport. If you know, you know.
Oh man, I was getting a little worried because it was kind of a big build-up up until the break. Oh, but the payoff was so good. I do feel like maybe it was a bit repetitive after that point, considering how much it was building up to get there. But ultimately, I'm very happy with this intro. Oh, there's also a lot of highlighted text here. I don't really like to go through the Genius annotations unless I'm like either really, really confused or if they're verified like this. So I'm excited to dig in and see what he had to say about it. What I'm getting about it from first listen, I mean, obviously they're repetitive. If you know, you know, maybe letting us into the lifestyle. Up here, he's flexing a little bit. Maybe it has to do with how one receives such money. Not exactly sure yet, but I am feeling a bit of, I don't know, is it literally just because I finished watching Narcos? But I don't know, maybe I'll hold back on what I think that this means until we get a little further along in the story, but I'm excited to see what comes next.
Drug dealer Benzes with gold diggers in them. An elevator condo.
Honestly, the instrumental reminds me a little bit of Mad Villainy. It has a bit of a rhinestone cowboy shine to it.
Just add water, stir it like a shake. Play amongst the stars like the roof in the wraith. Get the table next to mine, make our bottle servers race. These are the games we play, we are the names they say. This is the drug money your ex-nigga claim. He makes you laugh a little louder. The DJ say your name a little prouder. And we don't need a globe to show you the world is ours. We can bet 100,000 with my safe hold. My number's looking like a bank code.
I watched some interviews and I just love his energy. I feel like I have a lot to learn from him and his clarity. And I love that here he's saying he's learned a lot from others as well.
Energized like the bunny for drug money, or been paralyzed by the sight of a drug mummy. This ain't really for ya. This is for the Goya, Montoya. Buy your bitch some new hips and yank a rib out. The message in this music, all my niggas had to live out. These are the games we play.
Also, as someone who dated a wannabe drug lord in high school, the shade here doesn't hurt at all. Really loving his style, because it's not just storytelling, it's also like he's really good at escalating. I don't know how else to, I'll probably find a better way to explain that upon further listens, but holy shit, I'm very impressed. Wow.
Never trust a bitch who finds love in a camera. She will fuck you, then turn around and fuck a janitor. Set the parameters.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but the intro line kind of feels more like Kanye influence than Pusha's, just from what I've seen.
Good morning, Matt Lauer, can I live? Look, it's a nightmare, yeah. I'm too rare amongst all of this pink hair. Ooh! Still do the Fred Astaire on a brick. Tap, tap, throw the phone if you hear it click. Art Basel in the bezel, exactly what the game's been missing. This fire burns hot as Hell's Kitchen. Push.
Push is constantly weaving his first life as a drug dealer with his second life as a rapper. I guess that's what Snoop meant when he said, "You can take your boy out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the homie."
Still running through the models like I'm Puff. Confront my problems like I'm Rollo in the Bluff. Ignorance versus the innocence. It's not the temperature for you in Timberlands. I keep the coldest flows on the high seat, and you can spot my hoes by they car keys. Another episode full of atrocities. It's double M, baby, money monopolies. You scared to see my face in a fancy place.
I'm wondering if I should dive more into Rick Ross's presence in hip-hop. The only thing I really know about him is that he repurposed Freeway Rick Ross's name as his own, likely for the Kingpin association with the hustler lifestyle, wealth, and luxury. Wow, very powerful one. I think this is the first Rick Ross feature I'm listening to. I'm not exactly sure on that, don't quote me. But yeah, he's also come up a few times, especially recently. World famous Tony Williams. Wow, 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 wow. Very beautiful voice.
I want to talk to all you addicts out there that's got yourself a great big Joan. I wonder, have you
Don't
tried?
just touch down, I'm so grateful. Numbers so low, bitch be thankful.
I like to point out juxtaposition quite a bit in my reactions, but this track takes it to another level, juggling bright soul with gritty aggression, on and off like a switch.
Boys, we like kinfolk, be more burn spoon, DC glass pipe, VA scent bells, about that trap life. Ah!
Never have I been locked up in a world of misery.
Okay.
I need you, darling, to set me free. Come back, baby. Try me one more
That chord
time.
progression is beautiful.
Oh, baby, I'm about to go out of my mind. I can't.
Who else got the luxury to drop when he want, cause nobody else could fuck with me? This watch face.
With each listen, I have come to understand why people so strongly cope for Kanye. The production is dripping with creativity, still feeling fresh 6 years later.
Trafficking's alive. Push.
Is that bass intentionally blown out, or is it my setup? I honestly can't tell. It's freaking me out. I'm so worried.
Mama's falling out on the reverend. I play musical chairs with these squares.
Pretty much all of the tracks on this album battle for their spot, but Comeback Baby usually wins out for me. It's too powerful.
Still in the caravan. No, it's a meal in the caravan.
Never have I been locked up in a world of misery. Oh, baby, I'm about to go out of my mind. I can't.
That's such a
Now that
even
the tears
crazier.
dry and the pain takes over, let's talk this payola. Payola, you killed God.
Push said he wrote this track from a priest perspective, making decisions about justice and retribution, likely thinking of his late tour manager Day Day as his guardian spirit.
They say that death comes in threes, how appropriate. Triple brack the Russian like Soviets. All beef, then we heat them with flat irons. Your plans are backfiring. Think of double crossing the priest. Hail Mary, repeat after me. Santeria.
The double tracking. I was shocked to learn that 070 Shake improvised this hook the night before the album release party because Kanye couldn't clear the original Portuguese sample. It's iconic and haunting, beautifully hypnotic.
It's no more to pray for. Niggas get preyed on. Dark in my doorstep. They told me the day's gone. You listening, Davon? As I'm talking to your spirit, for God's sakes, I'm dealing with heartbreak. I paid them in small bills, all of them small face. I bet when we draw blood, you niggas will draw blank. Dress you in all black.
I watched an interesting interview with a Santero to help me better understand this song and the practice of Santeria. Although I still have a lot to learn, I respect many of the core values and beliefs I've come across in my shallow dive.
Ya te va en la mañana, es el fuego que yo.
Damn, this feels like denial, anger, all the stages of grief. Let's see, I need a couple of translations. Santeria, Spanish for worship of saints, refers to an Afro-Cuban religion with roots from the Yoruba people of West Africa. The religion, which revolves around building relationships between humans and powerful mortal spirits known as orishas, has rituals that consist of dancing, drumming, speaking, and eating with the spirits. The entire refrain basically is saying, "You're leaving in the morning tomorrow. The angels will wait. It's the fire that I know." I feel like I'll need to dig a little deeper into it. Like, I feel like I'm missing a lot.
Niggas talking shit, Push, how do you respond? I'm top 5 and all of them Dylon. I am the hope, the dope dealers won. Pricing the quote, the dope dealers want. Hail Mary, the scale ferry, 2 sides to every coin, so we bail ready.
When I think of this album, I usually forget about this track, if I'm honest. I'm just not a big fan of the sound, but I did love to hear that Pusha wanted Meek Mill as a feature. I wonder how that would have sounded.
Came with a fuse box. Niggas talking shit, yay, how do you respond? Whoop, scoop, whoop, whoopie whoop. Am I too complex for complex con? I be thinking, what would Tupac do? You be thinking, what new kids on the block do?
I won't say much about Kanye's lyrics here, but I would like to mention the Utah and Wyoming sessions. I'm sure that getting away from distractions helped Ye focus on his craft. I love learning about creative processes like these.
Like Seal, right? How do you respond?
I don't know. I don't know how I respond. Kind of wild though that this is like my first Kanye listen in a while.
The game's fucked up, niggas beats is banging, nigga your hooks did it. The lyric penning equal to Trump's winning. Shit, remember Will Smith won the first Grammy? And
I learned from the previous track that Pusha looks up to Meek Mill. Furthermore, I found that Meek called out Drake for using ghostwriters, specifically Quentin Miller. Sorry for cutting that bar, but I didn't have that foresight in my initial reaction.
Oh, now it's okay to kill baby. Niggas looked at me crazy like I really killed a baby. Salute Ross, cause the message was pure. Took the crack and built the wire. Now who do you admire? Your rap songs is all trying my patience. Them prices ain't real without inflation. Hot and fluid, how could you ever right these wrongs? When you don't even write your songs.
I noticed that Pusha flipped Drake's feature on Poetic Justice, but I didn't know that line was originally a reference to a Kanye track called Touch the Sky. Everything is connected and skillfully presented, and I love Pusha for that. Whoa. Yeah, short and sweet and to the point. Am I crazy to think that these are Drake disses? I literally said at the beginning, I was like, I'm sure there aren't going to be too many, but come on. Wow, I'm very, very pleased with his penmanship. I think I'm surprised that I haven't heard so much about him in these conversations. Yeah, I've had requests for him since the beginning, but it wasn't so much that it was a standout recommendation for me. Seems like a hidden gem, at least hidden from me. And I'm really happy that I could listen today. So thank you for listening with me. No one really knows what's coming next, so stay tuned, stay safe, and be kind.